Many of us are looking for those meaningful gifts for the holidays. So how about giving someone a book about a simple skill that could greatly increase a person's chances for being successful in life? The new book that may inspire some people to make different New Year's resolutions is called Listening is a Martial Art. It's about mastering your skills for success. Joining us today is the author, Cash Nickerson. Cash, good morning. So great to have you on the show.
Good morning, Stephanie. Great to be here.
Why do you say listening is a martial art form?
Well, we all recognize when we have physical confrontations, we call it fighting. When we have verbal confrontations, we call it fighting. We call it sparring. We watch the debates. And they have many similarities. And martial arts, in many ways, works to avoid confrontation. So many of the martial arts principles apply to helping you in your communications.
Interesting. Well, what is it that really inspired you to want to write a book about this?
I looked to find something to help make my listening skills better, and I couldn't find anything. There was a big gap. And it made sense to me because when we're young, we're taught we're bad listeners by playing the telephone game when we're in school, but nobody ever takes it from there. Nobody teaches you how to be better at it.
You know, I think listening sometimes, it's a lot easier said than done in some situations. So what would you say maybe would be the skills involved, the benefits that come from just being a good listener?
A big part of it is taking your own ego out of the equation. Too often, we only care about what we have to say. We don't really care what the other person has to say. We pretend we're listening, but all we're doing is thinking about what we think, what we want to say. So getting your ego out of the way is one of the best tips. Interrupting is a form of ego. It's what I have to say is more important than what you have to say.
So true, so true. I mean, you also talk about being successful in any career, so what advice do you have for that?
A couple of things. First of all the studies show that only 15% of your ultimate success will be your technical skills. What really matters is how you deal with others and how you work with others. That's 85% of your success. And dealing with others is all about communication. And listening is the part that we just aren't taught, aren't trained.
Everyone is attached to their smartphones these days. I know social media is just everywhere. Has it changed the way that people communicate?
It really has. Unfortunately, that's another form of ego. Imagine in the old days if while you're talking to someone, all of a sudden they just pick up a newspaper and put it over their face. That's really what you're doing when you pick that PDA up off the table and look at it. It's insulting, it's disrespectful, and you're missing out on the body language of the person who's speaking with you, which can be up to 70% of communication.
I know body language is so important. I think it can really say a lot about a person. As the president of one of the IT staffing firms in America, does your company look for people who are good listeners? I mean, is that something an employer is looking for during an interview?
They are, and the way they study it is in the interview. If you get to an interview, they're wanting to hire you. But if you blow the interview, you don't get the job. And people ask me afterwards, what happened? And I say, describe the interview. And you find out all they did was talk. They never listened.
Great advice, Cash, and so much more advice it can be found in your book. So where can we get a copy? Anywhere online you want to send us where we can pick up a copy?
You bet. Kindle, Amazon, or my own website, cashnickerson.com.
Cash, thank you so much. Thanks for being on the show.